Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe once said, when two incompatibles meet, they can coexist if only they agree to agree and agree to disagree. But Nigeria, can we ever agree? My learned senior mentor, G.T. Ogunye, senior advocate of the masses, recently said, a country does not survive solely because of forced unity. It survives on purpose and fruitfulness. This Nigerian house, he said, is falling. Today, if it is not agitation for Oodua Republic, it is movement for the actualization of Biafra, or Arewa threatening to send Igbos packing from the north. How about Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, oil theft and militancy, or the once upon a time OPC? Why is the previous government granted amnesty to militants who didn't ask them for it? The current government sees Biafran agitators as miscreants that must be crushed, while rehabilitating repentant members of Boko Haram. Yet the victims are still crying daily for succor from the same government. If this is not injustice from a motherland, then I wonder how else you would define it. Yet, we mouth the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. I laugh in vernacular. Some stakeholders have canvassed for fiscal federalism or return to the 1963 Republican Constitution, while others have argued that we either restructure, discuss our coexistence through a referendum, or go our separate ways. And like my brother and friend, Barrister Tio Nwigbo, once asked, are we really afraid of going our separate ways if that will guarantee justice, fairness, equity, peace, and security? I leave you to be the judge of that, though. Why countries like Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and USSR have all separated to foster equality, justice, security, and ethnic nationalism. We are here preaching unity in Nigeria, yet we have no solution to the genocide in South Kaduna, the illegal but officially condoned arms in the hands of killer headsmen, kidnappers, bandits roaming the country, the technically defeated Boko Haram, the amnesty militant, or the kidnappers. How about the corruption, nepotism, ineptitude, and barefaced selfishness and planlessness on the part of the political class, president, governor, lawmakers, and their likes? Make we sit down there and deceive ourselves. Czechoslovakia, which had a population of 16 million people, less than Lagos population, separated into Czech and the Slovakia on the 1st of January 1993. Yugoslavia in 1991 was 23.2 million, barely more than Lagos population. It broke into 6 countries same year, all along ethnic lines, namely Bosnia, Herzegovina, Croatia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, and Slovenia. In Europe, the UK permitted regional autonomy to the Irish, the Scots, and the Welsh, while the English dominated Westminster. Switzerland has 4 ethnic groups. Each of them rotates the presidency annually through 7 cantons that constitute the federation unit. These countries, like every other, might have their problems, but they are stronger and fostering independence today. I will therefore advocate, as posited by Professor Wole Soyinka and Professor George Obiozor and a lot of other scholars, apart from those in government. Nigeria, as presently constituted, is structurally flawed and badly configured. If not restructured either along regional lines or allowed to discuss their cohabitation to whether agree to agree or agree to disagree, it might give way forcefully without the opportunity of proper tailoring. The North, if properly harnessed, can not only feed the entire West Africa, but can become a new Dubai. The Southwest can enhance our creativity to become another Silicon Valley if they weren't waiting for revenue from a feed bottle center. The Southeast, with accountable leadership and right infrastructure, can become the Japan of Africa, while the South-South can be able to look inward for possibilities that abound around them. Then we will indeed understand that united we fall, divided we stand.
I believe in self-determination via the route of a referendum. There are people who may canvass for Nigeria to continue the way it is presently constituted. There are people who may even want to suggest restructuring. But we must bear one thing in mind. The same people that rejected restructuring in 1967 and 1968 are the same protagonists who are today still rejecting restructuring, by which I mean the British government and the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate. They do not want it. they cannot grant it because they think it will be detrimental to their survival or to their hegemonic tendencies within Nigeria. Therefore, I will recommend, or I will suggest personally, that people are entitled to hold whatever view they feel they are comfortable with. But for us, it is self-determination via referendum. As Iba Ganadam said, I do respect divergent views and opinions because I am a Democrat, and I would like to reiterate that. One thing that comes across anytime this debate is had is the weak position from which South is intending to, should I say, debate this restructuring of the thing. Restructuring cannot work because Nigeria has very faulty and shaky foundations. It cannot work because there are competing and divergent value systems. It cannot work unless we are deceiving ourselves. The borders are open in the north. They close semi-border. But the borders in the north are open for all manner of very desperate and evil people to troop into the country, to rape, to massacre, to pillage. No one is talking about it. You're talking about disparity in terms of our concept, our understanding of how a society is supposed to function. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that some people that I have regard for in terms of the intellect can come on this platform and be debating how to keep Nigeria warm with all the inbuilt anomalies in place. You can't go to beg Fulani for restructuring. They won't give it to you. You have to price it away from them. That's what Ganadam is talking about. You need to take it away from them. They're not going to sit down and say, oh, come and take it. Ochuku went for restructuring and they said no. What makes anybody in their right senses think they can give it to you now unless you have a very equitable leverage to wield? Once you do not have that leverage, you cannot get restructuring. And that leverage is self-determination. Without it, you cannot get anything. It's high time to understand this, you know. I'm absolutely shocked. Look at what's happening in Obibo. You want me to be in a country where a madman like Mike can get up in the morning and decide to slaughter people. And you want us to somehow subscribe to this useless, corrupt entity called Nigeria. Who created Nigeria in the first place? Who created Nigeria? Let me ask you. Who did? Did any of these people now talking today, do you have any input as to where Nigeria is supposed to be? What is wrong with self-determination? What is wrong with referendum? In Britain, you have an autonomous Scotland, you have autonomous Wales, you have autonomous Northern Ireland, you have autonomous England. What is wrong with that, for goodness sake? Sometimes I'm shocked the way we reason in Africa. It is absolutely shocking. What is it? What is the incentive for anybody to subscribe to One Nigeria? I ask. There is absolutely none, none whatsoever. You are in a country where you have a people who they have this sense of entitlement. You know, we have to determine what happens. You go to NNPC, it's only Fulani people there. You go to customs, only Fulani people there. You go to immigration, only Fulani there. You go to the army, the high echelon, it's only Fulani there. Air Force, Navy, oh, come on, for goodness sake. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Nigeria is unworkable. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But I do thank all of you who spent or who gathered today to give us, a snippet of your immense wisdom. We do appreciate it. I am not for restructuring. I am for the outright breakage of Nigeria, the same way we were before the white man came. And I make no apologies about that in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are people who may want to, for reasons of nostalgia, or kind of hankering back to the past. They saw 1960, people were out on the streets, they were dancing, they were making merry, there were high hopes for Nigeria. I mean, I can excuse them, but the reality today is that you have Fulani, a very virulent and dangerous Fulani Janjaweedism on the march. They want Ruga, they want to take our waterways. I mean, oh, come on. Nigeria is unworkable, can never work, and will never, ever work. The best way for us is self-determination. If they feel that they have the superiority, so to speak, or they have the upper ground in terms of the validity of the argument, they should come out and debate with us. What is wrong with a referendum? If you claim that a majority of the people want to remain in one Nigeria, then let's have a referendum. Let's determine it once and for all. How come via a referendum, Atiku became a Nigerian citizen? Why should I not be allowed to exercise the same right that Atiku actually exercised before being allowed into Nigeria? What is wrong with that? I mean, these double standards I cannot understand. Let's cut to the chase. The only thing holding Nigeria together is the oil and gas in Biafra land. And for the sake of that oil and gas, Biafrans are being killed right now as I speak. I cannot be in a country with people who do not see any evil, they hear no evil, and they condone evil. I cannot be in the same country. Heaven knows I cannot be in the same country with these people. If there is any need for us, I would prefer a situation whereby those of us in the South will get together and say enough is enough. And until we make that categorical stand, believe you me, this nonsense will continue. The South, the Yoruba, the Igbo, and of course, a very significant presence we have in the South should be able to come together to say enough is enough. You don't beg Fulani. If you beg them, they will drive you into your grave. We need to stand up and say enough is enough. If you don't do this, if you don't do A, we do B. As simple as that. Why should we beg them? Who are these people that we're begging them? All the time is begging, pleading. And as Ganadam said, come 2022, they'll start talking about elections. They want to see the future of their children in Asorok running all over the place, either as SSA or as secretary to the government. All these debates about restructuring will just go through the window. But our consistency over the years has proven time and time again that self-determination is the way to go. And there is one thing that will make it absolutely critical that we sustain this very drive. And that is the unity and camaraderie between the East and the West, between the Igbos and the Yorubas. And when we say the Igbo, that means encompassing everybody who's in the East and of course, our Yoruba brethren in the West. Once we are together, believe you me, Fulani will panic and they will give us what we want. If we are not together, we are repeating the mistakes of the past. And I pray to God Almighty in heaven that we do not do it. And on that note, I've come to the end of my submission this evening. I want to thank each and every one of you, and of course, there yourself, and all the very eminent personalities that grace this very program this evening. Once again, thank you very much.